Let's do this one more time. I can't believe you're here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Okay, now we all have our cameras on. Wait, I gotta. Who do I pinch? Me or you? To see if he's real.
Huh?
Is he real?
Oh, he's real.
Wait till he sees how big Honey been.
Who is that? Who is that girl? Is that your daddy?
What is she thinking?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like she doesn't know what's going on. Where you been, daddy? She says.
Took me 5 days to get here.
Really? Isn't she huge?
Yeah.
She's like a fatty now.
Took me 5 days to get here.
Really?
3 different places, a ferry.
That's why you didn't respond.
Like a 6 people plane to the next island. From the next island I took a ferry, 2-hour ferry.
Ryan, what are we doing on
Oh,
this?
actually,
The small ones?
between I had to take a car, 3-hour car,
I think
right?
they were like 15
Ferry,
bucks.
2-hour car, right?
that.
Another airplane to Jakarta, Indonesia. From Jakarta, Indonesia to Turkey, Istanbul, Turkey, and Turkey to Chicago.
So how does it feel? 13 months later. It's 13 months. A little bit over a year ago.
Feels great actually. I'm glad I did that.
Yeah. I miss you though.
Oh, I miss you too.
So
Halfway done.
halfway down. So you left. Well, technically, you left over a year ago. You left around Thanksgiving.
Yes.
But you didn't really start sailing, like seriously took off till mid-March, end of March?
No, March 1st.
March 1st.
I left Florida. I went to Bahamas.
Because first you launched your boat in Alabama.
Mobile, Alabama.
You took it up all the way across Gulf to Fort Myers.
Fort Myers, and then I did
Short trips around there.
Keys and Marquesas and
But then finally you took off March
1st.
March 1st. You went through all Caribbean islands.
No.
No?
No, I went from Florida to Bahamas. I went
That's
through
right,
all Bahamas.
Okay.
To Great Iguana, that's the last island in Bahamas. And then from there I went between Cuba and Haiti to stop in Jamaica.
Okay.
And I didn't go on land because they were closed.
Right.
Well, I stopped there. And from there I went to Panama to Galapagos,
Mm-hmm.
Galapagos to Marquesas,
Right.
French Polynesia, from French Polynesia to Tahiti,
Okay.
and I arrived in Tahiti, and Tahiti got locked down, so I couldn't explore much.
Got you. But before that, when you left, when you went through all Caribbean and went to Panama Canal, right?
Yes.
You stopped in Panama for a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, because Marzenka, my
Marzenka
wife,
came over.
She came. So I was waiting for her 2 weeks, and you scheduled the canal.
Right.
So I was there. I was in Colon, Panama,
Uh-huh.
for 2 weeks before the passage through the canal, and then once I was done with the canal, Marzenka and we stay in Panama City
Uh-huh.
for about a week,
Okay.
and then I left for Galapagos.
Okay.
So from Panama, I went to Galapagos, and in Galapagos,
That was the trip you took with Jack, right?
Yes.
Jack joined you in
Yes.
Panama, and you guys went
yes,
to
there was
Galapagos.
Yes, 8.5-day passage to Galapagos.
Okay.
Then in Galapagos, I waited 2 months.
2 months. I thought you were only there for a month.
No, 2 months.
2 months. Okay.
Same thing for Marzenka.
Uh-huh.
She came in for a week, and I left Galapagos on July 7 for Marquesas.
Marquesas. Okay. How long was that journey?
This was incredibly fast. That took me only that was the 3,000 nautical miles.
Yeah, this was insane.
19 days.
You were just like, boom. I'm like, he's there already.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
is this possible?
So I was planning, and I was hoping for 30-day passage.
Mm-hmm.
But talking to other sailors, some people do this like if the weather is great and
Right.
The currents are great. They say in about 15 to 20 days. If everything is just perfect, the
Right.
conditions are great. But I also talked to people. They say that took them 50 to 60 days.
Because there was no wind or
No wind, yeah.
So
So-
now this is a journey by yourself.
Yes.
Nobody with you
No. I was
on
by
that
myself,
passage.
yeah.
3,000 miles
By
by
myself.
You are nuts.
Yes.
I'm telling you, you are nuts.
Well, I'm gonna be on by myself most of the time for the rest of the legs. And from Nuka-Hiva, then I just went to all French Polynesia, just island
Right.
hopping.
Island hopping.
So the longest passage was maybe 5-6 days,
Okay.
and then you stop on the island, and then you go for a day or two, and you stop on a different island. There's just so many places to see.
And then you get to the place that you had all the trouble.
No,
Is
then
that-
I got to Tahiti,
Oh, Tahiti. That's right.
Papati.
Yeah.
And and once the day I came in on like Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and Monday they did the lockdown, so I was in lockdown for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to wait there, sit there, and the only place they allowed me to go was basically around the island. So I couldn't. So like 50 miles away was Bora Bora.
Uh-huh.
I was planning to go and see Bora Bora. I didn't go.
Oh,
So I couldn't
okay.
go. So as soon as they opened, I had to leave because of the cyclone season. So I left for Fiji, and this was about almost 2,000 miles,
Hmm.
and that was fast
And
passage.
you had? I put you on this chair. I'm like, we gotta talk, and I even didn't give him opportunity to take his jacket off. Now I'm looking at you.
Oh.
I'm sitting like
No,
this. and
because
he's
it's winter.
he's
here.
cold.
It's cold here.
He's
I'm
used to
not
85 degrees every day.
90,
Yeah.
humid.
So
It's different.
different world.
Yeah.
Different
No, I'm
world.
just fine.
Okay, so now you are in. Where were we?
I mean, you go. Where am I now? Or
No.
Oh, as far as our
Stop talking.
conversation.
I interrupted
Okay,
you.
so
I'm sorry.
so from Tahiti,
Uh-huh.
I left as soon as they took the lockdown down, that I could leave.
Uh-huh.
I left for Fiji,
Okay.
and at that point I had a crew. Dimitri was joining me.
Okay.
That took me to.
Now Dimitri had his own boat, right?
Yeah,
You guys were cruising next to each other for a while.
For a while, and his family went back. They from Canada.
Okay, so
They left. They went back to Canada, and then he left his boat in Tahiti because they planning to go back and do
I
some
see.
more cruising.
and then he jumped on your.
He jumped on my boat, and he went with me from Tahiti all the way to Indonesia, and now he's
Okay.
on the way to Canada.
The break that you're taking, the boat is in Indonesia. We're not gonna say where, but it's in Indonesia,
Oh,
safe for now, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It's in Banda Island.
Okay.
So for you guys, for those ones who's tracking me, the tracking shows I'm in Samulaki. That's when I arrive in Indonesia,
Right.
and then my Iridium Go die on me. So I have to call Iridium Go and see what they can do for me, because now, at this moment I have no satellite communication, so I have no tracking.
Okay. And now you are even north of that.
I'm 200 nautical miles north in Banda Island,
Okay.
which is just south of Ambon Island, and Ambon Island is big island.
Okay. Got you. So now back home after 13 months, how's it feel?
It's nice to see family,
Yeah.
but we just went for lunch to Portillo's.
He was. You should have seen how when you miss stuff, you can really tell people are missing stuff, because he was eating his combo, which is Italian beef, Italian with Italian beef with Italian sausage combo with
And
mozzarella cheese and hot peppers, like this was candy.
Yeah.
So because you don't get to eat stuff like that, right? There's no really fast food in any
No.
of these places that
No,
you stop.
no.
You know,
No,
these
you-
people eat totally different. I mean, it's
Everywhere you go, it's different.
Yeah.
But it's all local food.
right.
Most of the islands, you don't have. Most of these islands, they don't even have restaurants. They have little stands.
Right, like a pop-up stand, basically. Like
Yeah, then you can buy ready food. But most of the time, because of the budget, I'll buy food and I make meals.
right
on the boat.
Yeah. So
And of course, passages. When you're on a passage, you just eat what you have in the boat, or if you get lucky, catch a fish, you eat the fish.
so how long you visiting now? A couple weeks, a month?
Almost a month. I'll be
Nice.
here till January 18.
Now the biggest thing is because you need to kind of go back because the season just started there. It's a cyclone season, just like we have a
Yeah, but not
hurricane
where, yes,
here.
but not where the boat is.
Okay,
The boat is already
it's safe. You
it's
are
safe. I'm
okay.
already past the cyclone latitude,
Okay,
so I should be okay. There is some winds. There will be some winds in January, the whole January month, starting now. Actually, there will be some winds, strong northerly winds.
the potentially can
Yeah, but I'm
be
in the bay,
dangerous.
and I'm safe from the
Okay.
north side, so it should be okay. I'm on an anchor. So the boat is on an anchor,
Yeah.
so hopefully it's gonna be
So
good.
what would you say from this so far from your travels? You traveled how many nautical miles so far?
13,000, like 400, over 13,000.
So basically, you halfway around the world.
Almost, yes.
Almost. So out of the journey that you did so far, what's the best place you've been so far? What do you think you enjoyed the most, or the most beautiful, or made most impact on you? Like
the whole
wow
entire,
factor.
So the whole entire French Polynesia,
Okay,
including Marquesas, and then in Fiji.
Fiji,
Just so many, just
beautiful,
beautiful places, and beautiful people too as well.
crystal water, nice
Oh,
people,
yes. Just,
great weather. Yeah.
But Indonesia, I just got to Indonesia and
Do
I
you?
had no time to really enjoy
Yeah.
Indonesia yet. But Indonesia is beautiful as well. So.
You want to talk about the incident that you had with the one island that they hold you hostage for a couple weeks?
No.
Not really.
No. Well,
It's like people don't realize this, but especially these days, the world is strange. And because what's happening now, it's even more stranger, and things could happen that you don't realize that could possibly happen.
yes. So in the normal world, when you on a boat and you crossing the oceans, and any place that you go by near by island or whatever, if you get in a situation that you have some emergencies and you need to stop, all you have to do is ask on the radio, call on the radio, or if there's no response, go to the island, ask for help, and normally you get help.
Right.
Well, now with this, like you
COVID,
said,
what's going on?
strange word, I came in, I was calling them on the radio, I didn't get a response, so I went to the bay, anchor in the bay, didn't go on land or anything. Then that was in Vanuatu.
So Vanuatu, it's a little island,
Yeah.
but it's own country in
Oh,
itself,
Yes.
own government.
Yes.
Nobody controls them.
Yes.
It used to be, I think, French island, maybe,
No,
or Dutch,
I
or
think, no, it used to be. I don't make the Australian.
Australian.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
doesn't matter.
Or New Zealand. You know what? I'm sorry, I don't know for
Okay.
a fact. But I think Australian, but could have been New Zealand. One of those two.
okay,
But anyway, when I arrived, the customs came in on a boat, and I said, "Listen, I just dropped the anchor. I need help. I need to repair my sails, which I cannot do on the open sea because
right.
some things you can do. The waves are too big."
Yeah, you're not gonna climb, or you're not gonna, it's just too
Well,
risky.
sometimes you have to, but if
Yeah.
you have an island, why risk
Right.
this? You know.
Plus, you needed supplies. You needed food. You needed gas.
No, I
right?
had food at that point. I had plenty of food because I was prepared to go all the way to Indonesia. But because of the conditions out in the ocean for so many days, I had no wind, so I was using the engine. So I used
Oh,
up
so you ran.
half of my diesel, and I still had almost 3,000 miles to go. So my main thing was to get refill on the diesel
and fix the.
and fix the cell in front.
Okay.
So I asked them, I said, "Can you help me with the diesel?" I said, the repairs I need to do, I can do it on my own since I'm already in New Bay and I can just do it. I'm not asking to go on land, I'm not asking for anything, I'm just asking you if you can deliver me some diesel.
Right.
And they said, "Yeah, no problem, we'll help you." And then they left me hanging basically for like 7 days.
So basically, they took all the paperwork that they could from your boat, right?
Yes.
Your like registration, all this stuff, Coast
Everything,
Guard stuff.
yes.
They take your passport.
Yes.
So now, as soon as they get that, you're kind of strangled. You can't go anywhere because
No, you
you
can't.
can't travel without the
No,
passport.
you can because you won't be able to get
Yeah,
to
you
any
can't go
country.
anywhere.
Yeah.
So Now they got your papers. They're basically holding you hostage.
Yes.
How long that was going
So
on?
that was going on for 7 days.
Okay.
Actually, no, sorry. On the 6th day, I contacted American embassy
Mm-hmm.
in New Papua. This was the closest embassy. And they emailed Vanuatu, and they were emailing back and forth. So on day 7, Vanuatu came in. The customs came in. They says, we talked to you, embassy, and here's what's going to happen. You have this fine,
So because you didn't mention yet about the fine.
because I didn't know him before.
So they come in and they say immediately that you did something against the rules.
Yes,
right?
they say you validated the COVID-19 protocol. And right away I ask how I validate anything. I'm not
Never
on land.
stepped on land.
I'm on an anchor in the water. Is your fish gonna get sick from me?
Right, exactly. Okay.
But they say, well, that's validation. You in our waters, so you should not come in without our permission to our water. I said, I asked for help. I need emergency. So in normal situation, you never would have something like this.
Right. You have a problem, you come in,
And
pretty much
Yeah.
any country open
but
arms.
even I tell you, even in going out of this subject, I stopped in Jamaica because the weather was kind of bad.
Uh-huh.
Jamaica was
It was
completely
closed. I remember they
completely
were
closed.
completely closed. Yeah.
And I stopped, and as soon as I came in, I was calling on the radio, and I got a response. They connect me with the immigration, and they say, well, sit on the anchor as long as you need to. Just don't go on the land.
There you go. That's how it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
So
And also they asked me if I need anything. I said, well, it would be nice if I could just fill up with diesel, because I didn't use much, because most of the time I was just selling at that
Right.
point. But I had a couple jars,
no.
empty jars, so I'm like, might as well. So they let me do all that.
So basically, you call in, hey, I need 20 gallons of diesel, and some boat will show up and bring it to
Well,
you.
they
right?
did it. No, actually, they said you can take your dinghy, go to
Oh,
this,
you can-
this marina,
And fill up.
and they said don't go on land, but then someone will grab this cans
gotcha.
from the dinghy,
Right,
get
right,
it
right.
for you. And
See, that's how it's
That's-
supposed to be.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so going back now to the situation that you are in,
Vanuatu,
in Vanuatu, there. So after 7 days, finally they show up and they tell you, you violated. This is our policy. This is what we do.
Yes.
Now,
And now you're gonna have to pay this fine. They say you have to pay this fine. And I said, how much is it? And they said $5,000.
$5,000. Can you guys believe it? It's five. So it's like a ransom.
So I asked them. I said, well, why not 10? If you're charging me $5,000 just to come into the bay and drop an anchor, why not charging me 10? Why is it 5? Why not 10, 20,000? Right? Because it's $5,000. It's a lot of money.
Right.
Well, for me,
Right.
it's a lot of money.
For anybody.
So
$5,000.
why not just, if you're coming out with this crazy amount of $5,000? I said, why not 10? I said, just make it double. But those guys were just guys who do the orders.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, they apologize. They were nice. They apologize, but it's not us. It's the government. Like, okay. So I was going back and forth on the radio with the customs, and I asked to talk to the person in charge of who was giving me the fine, and he never wanted to talk to me. He never talked to me.
Yeah.
So they said, well, you have two options: either hire a lawyer
Uh-huh.
and fight this, or pay, and then we'll get your passport back and your papers back, and you can leave. But being at that time,
Who knows how long it's going to take now.
but Vanuatu is very vulnerable to cyclones,
And you don't want to be there.
and I didn't want to be in. It's unprotected water,
Yeah.
so I couldn't really stay there. So I had to pay, swallow up, pay, and
Go.
go.
Plus, you have a crew with you now too at that moment.
At that
So you don't
moment.
want to be stranded as
Yes,
well too.
Yes.
Everything is costing money all of a sudden because you're sitting there. You know what I mean? So I get it, but it's like how wild it is, right? People don't realize you go in. It's a different country. They can make their own rules, and what are you going to do? Because embassy really didn't step in, really didn't do anything for you except
Hey,
sending.
Marty.
Here's
How are you?
Marty.
Good to
Nice
see you.
to see you.
Yes, sir.
Ocean's good to you?
Yes, very good.
You're very happy, it looks like.
All good.
Yeah, we're shooting a little video here. So,
Okay.
But yeah,
Happy holidays. Good
You
to
as
see
well.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to
All
see
right.
you.
good
Yeah.
to see you. He's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, the most happy guy in the world.
Yes.
He had,
Stroke.
had a stroke, had a aneurysm,
Yes.
had COVID, had everything.
Oh,
He's
really? He had
paralyzed
COVID.
halfway. And he's the most happy guy in the world.
Good
And
for him.
people have problems. That's problems.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's
So, amazing guy though. We've been
Yeah, more
long
than-
friends.
yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, like going back, people don't realize like how these countries can make their own rules, and you have to obey them because what are you gonna do? You know, like you reached out to the American embassy.
Oh, so yeah. So when I reached
They-
out, so they at least
At least
thanks
they-
to that I got a response from Vanuatu
Because you were stuck. There was no responses. You were just sitting there and nothing's going on.
When
right?
I arrived, I told them, I said, I cannot stay here. I have to leave tomorrow. So can you help me with the fuel by tomorrow?
Right.
And I was stuck there for 10 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was.
Interesting.
But yeah, no, embassy, they couldn't really do much about the fine. They said it's you can hire a lawyer, fight
No.
this, and most likely I would have won in my
Yeah,
situation.
but it might be 3 months later or something. You
exactly,
know, like
and I wasn't gonna sit in a boat
Yeah.
without be able to go on land with a couple crew guys that
Yeah.
I,
yeah,
with
you
me.
ca-
So
you ca- yeah. So what's next? So obviously you're here now for a few weeks. You're gonna enjoy your family. You're gonna spend the holidays here. Going back and what? You staying around in Indonesia for a while or?
I'm gonna stay in Indonesia all the way to probably end of April
So basically you want to wait out the
because I
the
can go
cyclone season, right?
Indian Ocean. You can go on the South Indian Ocean till June.
Too
So-
dangerous, just too dangerous.
Yeah.
So when you're saying Indian Ocean, so your next travels are gonna be going where? You basically going south towards?
No, first I'm gonna go north to Papua.
Okay.
Because there's just so many beautiful islands there to.
Well, for now.
Yeah.
But later on, when
So,
April comes.
Oh, in April I'm going to Indian Ocean, sailing down
Uh-huh.
back to Indian Ocean, and go to Christmas Island.
Where's Christmas? Island?
Christmas Island's on the end of Indonesia, but Christmas Island belongs to Australia.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go to Christmas Island. Hopefully, I get permission from Australia to stop.
Yeah, because it's crazy, right? You basically went around Australia now, and you
What-
can't really stop there.
I went through the Great Barrier Reefs.
Yeah.
I was like, I could touch the land.
Because the restrictions are so
But I
bad
couldn't
in New
stop,
Zealand and Australia
Yeah,
that it's
yeah.
the 14-day quarantine, all the money that you got to pay to get in, and all this
Yes,
stuff
yeah,
is
it's,
just
it's well in Australia you can stop in Australia,
okay.
but it's just too much money. I can't
Yeah.
afford this. Same thing New Zealand. New Zealand,
New
if
Zealand
you
is ridiculous, man.
but New Zealand, if you go with your boat and if you do $30,000 New Zealand money, $30,000. If you spend 30 grand on your boat, you can go there.
Really?
Yes.
So they just want the money.
Yeah. of course.
Spend the money.
Yeah.
Spend 30 grand here, and
Then
we'll let you come in.
Yes.
Yeah. But New Zealand has always been like that. You want to go and live there. If you don't bring capital, you can't. You know.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, we'll let
Yeah.
you in. But so Christmas Island, and then Christmas Island. I'm hoping that I'll get there probably like mid of May,
Okay.
and then from there go to south through the Indian Ocean to all the way to Madagascar, or I'll stop in the Reunion Islands, which is a few hundred miles before Madagascar.
So basically, then you're going south down, and you're gonna go around.
Southwest.
So you're
I'm
heading
going-
for Africa.
Yes, so you're going on an angle from
Okay.
Indonesia, you're going on an angle towards bottom of South Africa.
Got you. So you're gonna go basically down to South Africa, go around it, and then go up again.
No, not go up.
Not go up. You're gonna cross.
Gonna cross to Brazil.
Got
Go
you.
a
So-
little bit up.
So
and
now you're crossing Atlantic.
South
all the way
Atlantic,
across.
Yes.
Okay. Now, isn't the most dangerous waters on the south of Africa, where the two currents meet? Is that where you're gonna
That's
go?
just- Yes, that's what I'm gonna go through. It's not the most dangerous. The
No?
most dangerous in South America.
Oh, okay. So
Cape
mixing
Horn.
up
Cape
those two,
Horn
okay.
is the worst. That it's like the second worst.
Okay.
It's you can't go just anytime. You have to watch the weather window. You have to find
Mhm.
good weather window, the right time of the year, and everything else. So there's many things
Yeah.
that you have to watch for. And with weather, it's sometimes, most of the time, they predict weather. It's not very predictable.
Yeah, I know.
So, but yeah, that's what I'm going.
Now, I know for those of you guys who been watching my channel for a long time, you know exactly what Adrian is doing and his whole he's documenting the whole process that he's doing. But I do have a lot of new guys, new subscribers that don't know you because they joined within last year the channel. They don't know who you are unless they went back and watched some old
Hey
movies.
guys, I used to sit here, not in this room because this room wasn't
Didn't
here.
exist.
I used to sit here.
So if you guys want to see Adrian's journey, and he's documenting almost every island he's hitting, it's very interesting. His channel name is, I'll put a link below, Sailing Black Swan. So I'll put a link below. You can follow his journey. I'm excited on every single episode that you put out because you just never know. I track you. A lot of people don't track you, but I track you. Like I see you, how you're moving. Although this system right now is down, right?
Yeah.
But
I'll get it back.
I can see his every movement, and I'm like, oh, I'm excited. He's pulling into this bay, and I can see, so the next few days there's going to be another video. Although everything is kind of few weeks behind, but still, it's exciting to follow you,
quite a bit behind now,
So
yes.
I'm glad that everything is working out. I'm glad that you are in one piece, what I can say, because you said you had few scary moments.
Yeah.
So I,
Few. Just few.
So.
Overall, it's been good. Yeah. Pacific Ocean, and there was few moments in Pacific Ocean that was kind of like
learning a lot every day, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
You've been sailing for a long time, but this is totally different.
It's different because the main aspect is when something breaks and you don't have the part, and not even if you pull to some island,
you don't know if you can get it. Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Most of the places you can't get anything.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to fix it with what you have and just keep going till you get someone.
And hopefully, even just like I saw it on your last video, you had a guy who came and helped you because the bracket got loose from the screws broke off of the engine,
yes.
And it's like, I don't have the tool to take that out. How
Yes.
do I, so you found somebody who had, so it's always challenging. So it's.
Yeah, so that, and I got lucky that I found this guy that knew what he was doing. And he had the.
For the most part, I think people where you go are friendly, right?
Oh,
like,
very friendly.
No,
most places people are very friendly.
That's good. That's. I mean, it's also scary too that a lot of times you are by yourself. You did had a chance here and there that you were sailing with somebody for a little bit, but how does it feel to be by yourself? There's nothing but ocean everywhere you look. There's nobody to open your mouth to. It's like talk to yourself.
I talk to the birds.
You talk to the birds. You talk to dolphins. I see you talk to dolphins.
Yeah. But
that's funny. How do the birds find you in the middle of nowhere?
There's birds. There's some birds that they live out in the middle of the ocean. They rest on the water or on a piece of wooden
something
piece that's floating. Yeah. But that's the kind of birds usually, unless you get closer to the islands.
But getting back to that psychological aspect of you being alone, like, do you one day say to yourself, "What am I doing? Like, why am I here? Like, it's all good."
It's all good.
I could not do it. I mean, a few days, yeah, I'm okay, but to be on days and days like without, and just ocean everywhere, and there's no, even that, in the back of your mind, you have to be thinking about everything that you do because one misstep, something goes wrong, you got nobody to help.
Mm-hmm.
You slip, you break your foot, you done.
Yeah.
It's like you have to think twice about everything you do.
As you remember, I had this one moment going from Galapagos to Nukahiva that it was in the middle of the night, the squall came in, and I had to drop my mizzen and quickly.
When you say squall, that means
little storm. Oh,
storm
not how
that
big,
causes big waves and
winds.
Winds and.
So you have to drop yourselves or make them smaller, so you don't rip yourselves. So I was pulling the mizzen, and the wind was already pretty strong, and I had a hard time to pull it down by myself. So I pull a muscle in my back, and I dropped the cell. And in this moment, when I was dropping the last part of the cell, it just this big shooting pain in my back.
I can relate because that happened to me 2 weeks ago and I was not mobile for a few days. So I can only imagine when something like that happens,
Yeah. So
and all of a sudden you can't do anything.
I couldn't do anything for like 6 hours.
Wow.
Like really, I crawl. Eventually, I crawled back to cockpit, crawled downstairs, took some ibuprofen, and I was on my knees, like
Crawling,
like
just
dog
crawling.
position,
Yeah.
you know, like on the
That's
knees,
crazy.
and just sitting like this for a few hours, and then the ibuprofen helped. a
So
little
and
bit.
now basically you are in the middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
So the the boat is just what, popping? You're not moving. It's
No,
just
I still had my at
You
that
had
point
your
I had
pilot?
my main. I was using Ruby, which is my one vein.
not,
That's not that Ruby.
not the bird.
My vein autopilot.
Okay.
So the boat was still
Cruising.
going in the right direction and everything, yes.
Okay.
But if the condition changed, the wind changed, if I had to do something, big changes with the cells, like let's say take out the whisker for one side, put another
You couldn't
side,
do it.
I couldn't do it.
Wow. See,
So
that's always
I would
scary.
have to drop the cells
It's
and
always
wait.
scary.
So, yeah, there's situations sometimes that selling by yourself, it's
Risky.
It's risky,
Yeah.
but on the other hand, also it's to me it's rewarding.
You know, I always, when I think about somebody being by themselves, I always think about that movie that Tom Hanks had
Yeah.
on an island,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And he's
yes.
talking to the coconut, whatever,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Wilson, whatever his
Yeah,
name was.
yeah.
And it's like,
What was it? Castaway? No, what was the title?
Castaway.
Castaway,
Castaway. Right. And he's just to stay insane, he creates a puppet that he's talking to, right? Just
Yeah.
to keep the conversation going because he was hearing voices, like,
Yeah,
you know.
Yes. Yeah.
You hear voices?
But
No answer there, so I don't know.
you know what? Because I heard voices, but I'm not gonna talk about that.
Okay.
But that was back in the Caribbean Sea.
Okay.
And what I find out later, the Caribbean Sea, it's haunted. So, but can you see if I play something on my phone?
Yeah, let's see. So I'm gonna play this. You can talk about it, but here. All right, so I'm playing this. I can see you here.
So,
So we got a visitor.
I got a bird. So we get to play with birds and talk to them.
Look at him. He's not even scared. He just came up to you.
Well, he was sitting there for a couple hours already, and I was sitting in the cockpit talking to him, so he got used to me.
Wow. So look at this. So it goes both ways. Like they're hungry for love, and
Yes.
you are hungry for
Yeah.
love. Oh, there's.
I was giving him some bread, and he wasn't hungry at all. He didn't
Uh-huh.
want to eat. He was just looking for company. So,
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh, that's fine. That makes me tear up, because it's like you always can find something or somebody that you can just like.
And there's many things on the ocean. You watch tuna jumping out. You see dolphins every single day.
Every day.
You see a few times a day. I don't really record. Only record once in a while.
Oh yeah,
put in a
because how
video.
much you can record
Because-
of that?
yes,
Yeah.
But I do enjoy every time they come, because they come to the boat and they usually stay anywhere between 10 minutes to all the way to like an hour.
They want to interact. They want to play.
They see you seeing them, and they go and they jump out of the water and they play. It's
What about other sea life, like sea lions or
Well, sea lions, out in the ocean you don't have sea lions.
No,
Sea
you
lions
don't.
need land.
land? Yeah.
But in Galapagos there was plenty of sea lions.
They're everywhere,
Sleeping
yeah.
in my dinghy. And,
Yeah. They're crawling to the
Yeah.
dinghy. Yeah, that's funny.
They fun. I love sea lions as well. So yeah, there's always some kind of sea life that you
Yeah.
see, and you enjoy that. You see sharks, you see turtles, you see all kinds.
So now you are about 10 months to your journey, traveling around the world. What do you think? How much longer you're saying you almost halfway, but not exactly, right? So it all going to depend on the weather, of course, but
So almost halfway. I'm missing, I think, 500 miles to be exactly halfway.
okay.
But the cruising that I'm gonna do in Indonesia, I'm gonna put extra miles
because now
I'm
you're going
north.
off the actual route because you want to explore
Yes,
the islands
Yes.
in Indonesia.
Yeah, so that's gonna take a little bit time.
Okay.
And then depends on the weather. So from Indonesia to Christmas Island, from Christmas Island to Madagascar. Now Madagascar depends on the winds. I might go on the north side of the Madagascar and go between Africa and Madagascar, or I might go on south side. If I go on the north side, it's an extra miles too. So you gotta play with the weather. You can't always
Yeah.
and the currents.
And with this pandemic too, you just don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
No, that's
there's certain places that you kind of can plan a little bit ahead. Yeah, they letting me in there, and by the time you get there, the rules might change, and all of a sudden you have a problem
yes.
because you had that problem already a couple times. So
Yeah.
that's we'll see how that plays out. So probably another year. You think you're gonna be done or
No.
no?
No, because I'll be able to leave South Africa in end of November. So that's gonna be few months to get to Brazil.
So you're crossing Atlantic. You're going to Brazil. You staying on this side?
South side.
South side,
South
so
Atlantic.
Argentina, Brazil going up,
yeah.
so you can get back to the States because you don't want to be on the other side of Pacific, right? Because you don't
No.
want to be on California side. You
No,
want to
no.
come back to Florida.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're going kind of on an angle through South Atlantic, all the way to Brazil, and then hopping the coast, go up to Caribbeans and
So I understand the route, but technically, it's still almost impossible to say that you would need another 2 years to actually do really like around the world thing, right? Because you're not on the other side of South America then, right? You're not going on that side. You're never gonna make it to a side of like California, of US.
oh, but I was on that.
Well, I know you were. You crossed Panama and you went
yeah,
out that
yeah.
way. But I'm saying like still to hit like
Every
everything.
spot? Oh no.
It's like years.
No, you would need, if you want to see the whole entire world,
Yeah.
go and see all these beautiful places, I want to say 15 to 20 years.
Wow.
On a boat.
Because people say, "Oh, I want to go around the world," blah blah blah. It's not that simple. This is you talking many thousands and thousands of miles, so
To
many
see
countries.
things.
It's just
Because what I do, see, like now I'm in Indonesia, but might as well I could go now north and go to, let's say, Japan.
right because
to
you still
Taiwan.
got that. Yeah.
Go a little lower, then go to Thailand.
Yeah.
There's just so many places that
The whole coast here on the bottom of
Yes.
China and everything. It's like
yes, I'm gonna miss.
You're gonna
all
miss that, yeah.
But it's
Wow.
just time and time. What's time? Money.
yeah.
It's just
It's money. Basically,
it's
boils
money.
down to
Yeah,
money.
I can't afford it.
You can do only
If I
so
could
much.
afford it, I would. If I could afford it, I would still have been somewhere in French Polynesia, still exploring
you
places.
just need a couple sponsors, buddy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all you need. So, all right, man. It was good chatting with you. I hope everybody enjoyed our little chat, and I want to wish you the best. Merry
Okay.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
So
everybody.
good to see you. Love you, man. Guys, thank you so much for watching.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. And hopefully you guys can check out Adrian's channel. And we're gonna meet maybe in a year again.
Oh no, I'm hoping you come to South Africa.
South Africa. So that's
Yeah.
still the plan. November.
Yeah, I got a room for you there,
Okay.
buddy. So.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.